All right, this is Sports for Real with Coach Hall. I am just leaving the Jaguar Stadium. I'm still at the stadium, and standing next to these porta potties. They smell worse than the Jets. Even the Jets don't smell as bad as these porta potties. We need to clean them out or do something. But big win for Jacksonville. They hadn't had a win this big in a long time. They beat the Jets 48-20. And I just did a recent video with Fango Media, and the fans are out of their minds with the performance that they're seeing from Jacksonville. But the question is it real? Well, you can look at the fact that it was just the Jets. But last week it was just the Colts. Before that, they got by a struggling Chiefs team. You can't keep making excuses for other teams in the league when the same team keeps beating the teams that are in front of them. So the Jaguars now stand at 10-4, and we're going to find out what's going on with them next week because they got to go to the Mile High City and take on the AFC co-leading Broncos. They're coming into the day at 11-2, and they're going to have Jacksonville come in next week, and we're going to find out a lot about both these teams when it's time to play next week. Now, I've been talking all along about this Phillip Rivers thing. A lot of people laugh at the idea that Phillip Rivers, being at 44 years old, he comes out of retirement, and a lot of people are taking that as a joke because of his age. Well, let me tell you, uninitiated sports fans, the truth. Truth is, a running game is a quarterback's best friend. If a quarterback has a guy that can run the football consistently, and you're a play-action team, you're going to have wide open opportunities because the gaps in the defense get much larger. And a guy like Phillip Rivers, I don't give a damn if he hadn't played in 10 years. He is still capable of hitting wide open receivers from play-action passes. The question is, can the Colts keep him standing up? It's the same question that we say about Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers. Can the Steelers keep Aaron Rodgers clean? If they're able to keep Aaron Rodgers clean, then they're going to be dangerous. You saw that last week when they took on Baltimore. You're going to see it tomorrow night when they take on the Dolphins. The Colts, they just kicked off, and we're going to see just what Rivers can do. He's going to be out of shape a little bit, but he's not a runner anyway. So it spells a little bit of trouble for Jacksonville when you add in a seasoned quarterback like Rivers. He's going to be a better player at worst than what Daniel Jones was. Daniel Jones is, serviceable. But you got to give him his credit, though. Jones played really on a broke leg the last 2 weeks. And don't have to tell you how hard it is for somebody to play on a broke leg. It's not the first time it's happened. Years ago, Jack Youngblood played on a broke leg in the Super Bowl. And he played well. It's just that if you can play that way in the trenches like Youngblood did, then a quarterback, if he's able to get rid of the ball quick enough, he can play. But the problem with playing on a broken leg, of course, you're going to overcompensate. You're going to overcompensate. And when you overcompensate, it puts you in a bad position, basically. And his body just couldn't take it, and it caused that ACL pop. So now he's gone. And this is how Rivers came into play. See, I got a quote here. Somebody says hello. I got my contacts in, so I can't really see who I'm talking to here. I appreciate you chiming in. But I just interviewed a bunch of fans for my Fango thing that I do. If you go to my page and do collaborations, you'll be able to see some of the videos. Kings Avenue.
He just took his first round.
Appreciate it. Oh, this the last round? Yeah. Last week it was a whole bunch of people out here. All right. I'm about to get left. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Appreciate it, man. All right. If I sit here? All right. As you can see, I'm on the bus with a bunch of rowdy Jaguar fans. They just won 48-20 against the Jets. But as I was saying, You look like you have been something about some stray kids, but I'll take that. But anyway, I think Rivers is going to be a serious threat to the Jaguars, and we'll see that game take place in 2 weeks up in Indy. Where am I? Where am I going? We are going back to we're going back to the parking garage. It's actually the best way to catch a game here in Jacksonville. They have parking garage where you pay $10. You park your car at the garage. You catch the bus. They'll drop you off right in front of the stadium, so you can see the stadium right there. And they're going to take you back to your car, and all it costs is $10. And the beauty part about it is, Jaguar fans, they're funny. They like to leave games at halftime. And when you have blowouts like you had today, the crowd thins out pretty quick, especially for the visiting team. So what we're going to do, we're going to catch this bus. We're going to go across a really big bridge, and we're going to be back at our car in about 10 minutes. No parking hassles, no $50 for parking in somebody's yard, none of that. Nice and easy. So if you come to Jacksonville, look up JTA and buy your Game Day Express ticket, go to the parking lot, park, get off the bus, go to the game, come back across the street, and then you're going wherever you're going. But these fans are really happy. As you heard, they were celebrating the fact that evidently Kansas City lost. That eliminates Kansas City from playoff competition, and people were celebrating that. So as you can see, we're going right across the street from the bridge there, from the not the bridge but the stadium. So it's actually a good place to catch a game. I see Larry Barrett. I didn't talk to Larry Barrett in a while. How we doing, Barrett? I remember you, but yeah, the Eagles fan. Yeah, I remember you. What do you think, Barrett? You think the Eagles should bench Jalen Hurts? That's been the talk, that he's not playing well enough and he should go to a backup quarterback. I already know what you're going to say. It's a dumb idea, but that's what people are saying. That they should drop Jalen Hurts for another quarterback. I don't think you would agree with that. But yeah, I'm just leaving the Jaguars game, and they beat the Jets 48-20. I thought this was going to be a trap game, but evidently the Jets, they already folded the tent for the year. I know they didn't have their quarterback, Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor, so they started a rookie quarterback. And from what Jets fans say, he didn't look too bad, but the team just not prepared as a whole, and they're pointing fingers not only at the coach, but they're pointing fingers at the owner. They think the owner needs to go, but you know how that's going to play out. Johnson is not going anywhere, and that's just the way it is. All right. But I see last night, let's see what Larry said, after they placed him on into reserve. All right, who is him? Who were you talking about? I don't know who got placed on IR. I can't hardly see it. But no, they're talking about Hurts. They think that Hurts should be benched. Ricky Ricks, what's going on, man? Yeah, it's 4 games left. I want to ask you guys what you thought about Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement at 44. I think that that's not actually a bad pickup. If they're able to keep him clean, then he could cause some damage. And they're still in the playoff race, and they're still in the thick of things. So everybody had the Colts counting out when Jones got hurt, not thinking they could come up with a guy like Phillip Rivers. And if they're able to keep him clean, he's going to hit some passes downfield. He is going to hit some passes downfield. JC, what's going on, man? I'm just leaving the Jaguar game. I just did another video with Fango. If you go to the collaboration page, you see the one I did from last week after the Colts game. You know, the fans say a whole lot of crazy stuff, and I got some real good comments this time. So that video won't be up for a couple of days, but you'll get a kick out of this one. I'm guaranteeing that one. That's going to be a wild one. But anyway, I thought this would be a trap game for Jacksonville simply because they're looking forward to playing Denver next week. But the way they're playing good football, and Trevor Lawrence is playing good football. And like one fan pointed out, the Jaguars go as Trevor Lawrence go. If he's playing well, and it doesn't matter who they're playing against, if he's getting that ball out there to where it needs to be, then this could be a dangerous football team. And If it comes down to Houston and Jacksonville, Jacksonville blew a 19-point lead. And had they won that game, then they would be 2 games up in the division instead of just 1 game. But it's a whole lot of football left to be played. And the Colts are going to have something to say about what takes place. I don't know who this is, but it's 100% real here, Jack. There's no AI here. So I asked the question, do you guys think the Jaguars are really this good? 40% of you saying yes, 60% say no, and I'm kind of like on the fence there. I like to see what they do when they play against a team like Denver next week, and then they're going to get a rematch against the Colts, the Phillip Rivers. That's going to be a different kind of a matchup. So if they can somehow get past these 2 games, the Jaguars might be in line because everybody else is going to play their way back to them. Yeah, they could very well end up with a damn bye in the playoff. I doubt it, but it's possible. Man, I can't see what you're saying because I don't have my glasses on. But JC say Jets are not a good team. Jacksonville improve anything. I'll agree with that. That's why I say I'm waiting for them to see what they do when they play against the Broncos next week. But I've seen them go to Denver before and beat Denver. So it's not like it's out of the realm of possibility. They're all professional football teams, right? So let's see how it goes when they take on the Broncos next week. Now, I told you guys I didn't get a chance to come on yesterday, but there's been some updates to the Sharon Moore case up there in Michigan. Turns out that he's been dating this chick for a while, like over a year. She broke up with him like December 8th, and the erratic behavior that they say he had was because of the breakup and the situation he was going through with her. Well, come to find out, he was investigated by the university, and they had found nothing wrong. And he had opportunity to get all that straightened out. For what I understand, the AD told him to either fire the person or move him to another department. And Moore decided to fire the person. So in turn, she goes to the administration and turns him in. That's how he ended up losing his job. So he made a sucker move by going to try to talk sense into her at her house. So of course, after calling, not being able to get her, that's where the stalking situation comes in. So he shows up and he makes it worse by going to the house and attempting to kill himself and pulling out a knife and putting it to his own throat. That doesn't help him at all. And that kind of killed him, if you ask me. And not only is he out of a job now, he's out of that big contract, and now he's got criminal charges to boot. So was it all worth it for him? Hell no. And I don't know how he's going to get himself out of the situation. But he was married, and that's going to make the situation even worse. So more and more details keep coming out by the day. So we'll find out more. Probably by Wednesday, we had the complete picture. But my initial estimation was not very far off. And kind of feel bad for the guy, but he put himself in this position, and he made it even worse by suffering out and going to the house. You guys don't know nothing else. When a woman is through with you and she costs you your job, the last thing you need to do is confront her face to face for any time soon, because it's not going to go well, and it did not go well for him, and that's not a good thing. But enough about him for now. Back to Ricky Ricks. You say Philadelphia will move the ball. I think it's more how he responds to the speed and actually getting hit. Well, I don't think he's worried about getting hit too much. I think his timing with the players he's playing with is going to play a part in that. But as you see with Flacco in Cincinnati, there are going to be some opportunities there for him to do some things that Jones wasn't doing. So he's still in my opinion, I didn't even see the guy play. I think he's still better than what Jones was. And you know what, the Colts, they had only lost 1 game up for a long time until Pittsburgh beat on him a little bit. And that might have been the point where he broke his leg. And they can keep this guy upright. That's going to be a problem. So as much as Jacksonville is celebrating right now, inside that team locker room, they know Phillip Rivers brings a different dimension than what they were going to get from a Daniel Jones. That's just my opinion on that. All right. On Coach Moore. Yeah, Coach Moore, suck it out, man. But I don't know what he's going to do. But these women, man, you gotta know who you're dealing with. You've been dealing with that person a long time, and you fire her. Of course, she got that on you because you know you weren't supposed to be messing with her in the first place. So he's gonna pay for that. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I just want to come on since I've been talking with the fans. I heard a lot of interesting comments from the Jaguars. You know, of course, every team fan talks Super Bowl, and they're really talking Super Bowl around here. Now, if they lose to Denver, you won't hear quite as much excitement. But if they go out there and they whip Denver, oh man, you won't be able to shut them up. That's the hell of a Christmas present. All they really want to do is talk about how good they are, and being able to beat the Broncos, it'd be a good present for them. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, but like I say, I'm on the bus coming from the game, and they have a nice setup here. They call it Game Day Express. You pay $10. You park your car at a city garage, well out of the way of the stadium. They pick you up, and they drop you off in front of the stadium, and you pick you up, catch the bus at the same place in front of the stadium. Then they drop you off at the city garage where your car is. Now, if you don't know, never been to a game in Jacksonville, I've known people to pay as much as $80, $90 to park in somebody's yard. So it's well worth the price to pay $10 to park at a parking garage. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, boss. All right. So see, I'm getting off at the garage with everybody else. You can't beat it, man. So I spent my little $10. Now the only problem I got now is try to beat all these people out of the parking garage. So that's the only problem. It takes about 10 minutes to get out of the garage. And once you get out of the garage and away from traffic, then you're really good. So yeah, I just want to come on and talk a little bit because I was in the talking mode. A lot of interesting comments from the fans. I hope you guys look at that collab tab in a couple of days when the next video drop. And go back and look at the one last week from the Colts. That was interesting as well. So rest of you guys, I'll see you in the morning. And hold up. Somebody said something about, yeah, I heard the Chiefs got eliminated, man. So they lost to the Chargers. They had to lose to get eliminated, or mathematics didn't work for them. But the Chiefs will be back. The question is, when Andy Reid come back, Travis Kelce, he'll probably be gone. As long as Mahomes is there, they can find somebody for him to throw the ball to. And the Chiefs, they'll be back. But it's good for the league to have some different blood come along and make it more interesting for everybody else watching it. So we'll hail to the Chiefs until next year and look forward to a great NFL playoff season. We got the college playoffs coming up this week with Oklahoma taking on Alabama in a rematch. Now, the SEC thinks they're superior to everybody. And their common theme is they ain't played nobody because they ain't played nobody in the SEC. Well, I'm going to warn you. The winner of this game, Alabama and Oklahoma, is going to get Indiana in the next round in the Rose Bowl. And you think you're going to show up there just because you're from the SEC and your name is Alabama, Oklahoma, two blue blood programs, and you think you're just going to show up and whip Indiana? You got another thing coming. I'm going to leave you with that one. So again, if I don't catch you guys sometime tonight, I'll catch you guys in the morning with another edition of some latest news. What's going on? Hopefully by then we hear a little bit more about Sharon Moore. So I appreciate you guys chiming in with me for a few minutes. And until next time, this is Coach Hall. I'll catch you on the flip side. I'm out. I got to go, man. But them Steelers, we're going against the Dolphins on Monday Night Football.